audible to you?
Yes, you are. I hope I'm on as well.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're audible. Hello, ma'am. Good evening. Shall we get started with the session then?
Sure.
Okay, ma'am. I am Aditi Das, a content team member of Legal Law Forum. I wholeheartedly welcome you to today's session, ma'am. Being said that Legal is a law forum based at Nagpur, Maharashtra. This forum mainly focuses on spreading legal knowledge and awareness among the youngsters. LLF Talks is one such step towards the said initiative. Moving forward, today we have with us Nirali Bhatia ma'am. She is a psychotherapist and a psychologist specializing in cyberpsychology. She is a TEDx speaker and POSH trainer, having conducted numerous workshops and training programs for corporates, organizations, educational institutes, and large forums across the country. She has founded an anti-cyberbullying organization that is Cyberbullying Awareness, Action and Prevention. It provides guidance, counseling, and reporting assistance to the victims of cyberbullying and has conducted more than 200 awareness and cybersecurity sessions along with multiple campaigns to fight against cyberbullying and harassment. Very recently, she has been awarded as India's top woman influencer in cybersecurity. Now, with your permission, ma'am, shall I get started with the questions?
Yes, sure.
Okay. The first question is, what does the term digital cyber hygiene mean and encompass?
So firstly, thank you, Aditi. Thank you for inviting me over here and taking up this topic, which is very close to me. What I believe is that...
Ma'am, really sorry to interrupt. Your voice is really soft, actually. It
Yes.
can't be heard properly.
Okay, I'll get very... I guess that will make it hard. Give me a moment.
Is it better now?
Yes, ma'am, it's absolutely fine, ma'am.
Okay, great. So, yeah, very specifically, this topic, the cyber hygiene and etiquettes, is very close to me when it comes to talking to young or to the youth of the nation. We all have entered cyberspace, so almost unprepared. So many of us have been forced to enter the space during the lockdown, and thanks to the education going online, entertainment going online, and even communication. Now, in like in any other new environment, when we go, there are certain rules to understand. There are certain etiquettes to follow. There are certain do's and don'ts to follow. Same way, internet space also has a particular format which we all need to follow. We need to understand. When it comes to cyber hygiene, as we have our personal hygiene, our food hygiene, that is, taking care of things that are going to impact our health, our safety, is all that accounts to hygiene. Same way, in the cyberspace, we need to be very, very careful and maintain a certain hygiene, which will ensure our own safety, our own health is good. And when I say health, it's not just physical, it's more of mental health, because in the cyberspace, it being a virtual space, it's all largely emotionally triggering, and hence our mental health can be at risk if we do not understand and follow the cyber hygienes, which are nothing but simple do's and don'ts to ensure that we have a lovely and a very positive presence online. So I hope this answers your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next question. What really is Netiquettes? How will their practice impact social media users?
So Netiquette, this is a set of rules, regulations, kind of etiquettes that we follow on internet, and that's how the word netiquette is formed. First time this term was coined by Virginia Shia, who is also titled as the network guru, and she was the one who came up with a guideline of 10 to 12 netiquettes that each one of us must follow. They're as simple as if I have to very simply explain, it's nothing but application of common sense. However, Ironically, that sense is becoming less common and more rare, and hence we need a guideline, a framework to explain to us that these are the boundaries within which we should function. And etiquettes are just a list of good code of conduct online. So it starts with a very simple, a very simple mantra to follow is always remember the human element. That's the first golden rule or the first etiquette that we must follow. And coming down to as simple as respect other people's privacy, be always polite online. This is not the space to, vent out or spam with a lot of content. This space is very, very perceptive in, the way it functions. So not everyone is going to get your intent. Largely the cues over here are missing of communication. So how do you interpret giving benefit of doubt? So these are some common etiquettes that if we follow on internet, which is what are called as netiquettes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Moving on to the next question. What is the importance of fact checking?
Well, that's $1 million question, and it again goes back to common sense. So let me explain this to you with a very interesting case. So a few years back, when I was doing a campaign with Pune Cyber Cell, one of the officers and me during the tea break were discussing, and he was sharing, madam, I got a case which is so funny that they come every single day, and they come to the police station saying that please do something, my son is unable to go to the school. And it was very weird, like, what will police do and how is it related, so that's where he explained that a few weeks earlier the kid had not come home in time, and at that point the family had made out WhatsApp messages sending out to friends and family across and asking that if you have seen our kid, please contact us on this number or send him home. Now that evening the child did return back. However, he explained that mobile battery was not working and the car had two flat tires, and hence there was a delay. Incident was over. The family did write back thanking everyone that the child is safe and back home, and thanking everyone for their support. It has been more than at least 4 to 6 weeks. Still the message is circulating, and whenever someone receives that message or sees that child, this is what they do. They try to help out and they bring the child back to home, or they take the child to the police station. Now, this is a very good act. We want to try and help someone. But when we don't fact check, this is how it can backfire. Lynching is a very, very common example of, these kind of cases happening. And when we do not fact check information, we are spending our currency in promoting fake news. On internet, everyone has the power to generate content, but if you do not execute responsibility, you can end up generating fake news and or fake information. And when we as viewers do not fact check, we can end up circulating and promoting fake news and creating incidents like this. So I hope it's clear what exactly is the significance of fact checking, whether you want to help someone or whether you want to contribute to something. Even then, you need to be checking the information before sharing.
Absolutely, ma'am. Ma'am, you're saying something?
Yes, I'm just allow me a moment. I need to plug in the battery. So I will just make a movement. You can continue.
Ma'am, shall I ask the question then?
Yes, sure, go on.
Okay, ma'am. How important is having boundaries and respecting people's privacy?
So let me ask you the question so let me ask you this question other way around, that does your house have curtains? Does your house have locks? Do you choose what kind of image you want to have in public? Do you decide that, if this is a college I am entering, this is a particular dress code I will have, this is the kind of personality I will show, or this is the kind of image we will show? That's exactly the reason why we need to respect each other's privacy and each other's space. Just because internet is 24/7 and the profiles are open, they are available 24/7, messages can be sent across 24/7, does not imply that you do not respect their time and privacy. Very often we get these kind of complaints, particularly between partners or spouses, that, or even the bosses and employees, that, oh, he read my message but he is not replying, and then you continuously keep messaging and get onto an emotional trail saying that, why are you ignoring me, this, that. No, it is not important that, when when the messages are blue ticked, not necessary that the person is available at that time. We need to allow them that time and convenience to come back to us. Same way, when we are sharing certain information with someone, if the person says he or she is not comfortable, stop doing that. Do not take it for granted that on internet you can get away doing this. It is one of the most significant etiquette, or rather netiquette, that we must follow, which is respecting each other's boundaries, each other's privacy and space. So I hope this answers your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yes. Moving on to the
I'm
next
just
question.
here. I'm just plugging this.
All right.
Yes, sorry. Now
Okay,
we are
no.
set.
Okay, ma'am. How does practicing cyber hygiene and having etiquettes benefit internet users?
It is like as simple as having a good lock to your house. Cyber hygiene is not just the etiquettes, it's also the hygiene that you maintain for the device that you use to log on to internet. It could be your mobile device, it could be your the laptop device, the device that you use. If you follow good hygiene practices, such as keeping your softwares updated, having a good antivirus on that, all of this can ensure that your machine or your device is safe from these kind of malware attacks. Hygiene practice also tells you that have minimum number of accounts, not multiple. Do not use them on multiple devices, not to use public Wi-Fi. So these are all targeted or aimed to ensure that you are safe in cyberspace and your data is safe. Your privacy is manageable. So that's the significance of hygiene, and this is how it can help you keep yourself and your devices clean and safe. Now, when it comes to netiquette, the importance or the way it can help the internet users is to ensure that you have very positive digital footprints. Netiquette is all about your code of conduct in an online space. So what kind of language are you using? What kind of post are you creating? How are you reacting to certain content that comes your way? What areas are you browsing? What comments are you leaving? All these form your netiquette, and they also form your digital footprints. If you follow a good netiquette, then you will ensure that your digital footprints are also very positive. And we must understand the significance of digital footprint, that whatever you do on internet, you always leave a trace. A negative digital footprint can cost you your future, whether it is job, whether it is your dream university, all of this. So a very simple example, I think some of you must have read it. This was about, I think, 2 years back, when a few candidates who were actually selected for a program at Harvard University, after accepting their applications, post doing the social background check, their applications were rejected. And the reason was inappropriate social conduct. There were a certain groups that those applicants were following, which were promoting, not so fair practices, and they were extreme groups that they were following. I do not want to name it over here, what kind of groups that they were following, but this is how your digital footprint can impact. And it all comes from the hygiene and the netiquette that you must follow in cyberspace. You should know what are the good practices. Like I said, that just Google up Virginia Shia's netiquettes, and you will get a list of it. Or if you want, I will share it with you, and you can put it on your page as well. So I hope you get the significance that where and how it can impact users and how beneficial it can be.
Yes, ma'am. Moving on to the next question. Ma'am,
Sure.
there's a saying that it is not what you say, but how you say it, like especially on internet. What are your thoughts on this regard to netizens?
Well, this is applicable in all areas. It's also in a physical communication. In fact, in the cyberspace, it is all the more important, both the aspects of what you are saying and even how. Because here we miss on the verbal cues of a communication. More than talking, it's all about texting. So when you choose to text someone, your intent is not heard, it is read. And hence, what you're writing, on which platform you're writing, what kind of emojis you're using, what kind of language you are using, and how positive does it sound, or what kind of interpretation it can be left to. All of this matters a lot. I'm not trying to scare you that, oh my God, itna sab sochna padega likhne ke pehle. No. The simple rule to follow is ensuring that whatever you're writing is not in any ways demeaning to anyone. It's not left to interpretation in any other ways. So choosing the right platform for right kind of communication is an important aspect. Hence, what you're saying, where you are saying is far more important in the cyberspace. If there is something, for example, if it's a work-related communication, social media is not the right place to communicate. You will have your work forums and programs or chat programs or official WhatsApp groups or official groups of your work is where. Same way your college or your university correspondence and communications. So choosing right platform is far more significant, and that will decide that how you are saying it, using of right kind of emojis, right kind of expressions if you're doing a video conversation. So yes, it is extremely important over here, besides what and how, even where.
All right, ma'am. Moving forward, how to increase our network and make contacts online? Please give us some tips on the same.
Oh, that's $1 million question here, the question of business development. I think the any kind of interaction, it has to be very mutual. So the more you give is where more you get. If you are going to share your knowledge, if you're going to help people, that's how you're going to win their trust. That's how you're going to increase your fan following, increase your network peers online. So come up with something that is useful. It is related to your field, but it is about sharing also. Joining the right kind of platforms, choosing the right platform to share certain ideas. For example, when we choose Instagram, when we are keen on doing a face-to-face conversation or these kind of sessions, is where we choose Instagram. And we know what kind of audience is there on Instagram. Then there are certain platforms such as Clubhouses these days, very, very helpful. And we are seeing a lot of youth over there exchanging ideas. Twitter is another medium where you can have a voice, have a substantial voice. So these are many ways in which we can expand our network, but be very selective. And also remember that not every debate requires your inputs, or not every comment requires your reaction. Be a good listener, be a good person who is going to share knowledge, not just all the time wanting to take. These are some traits which can give us a good amount of interaction and good amount of networking with peers.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Moving on to the next question. How has the pandemic impacted social media, and what can be done to reduce its negative impact and make it work in our favor?
Well, pandemic has been a roller coaster for many people. All of us were caught unaware, and it has created a lot of anxiety, uncertainty, which, however, is not under our control. What has happened is that, because we were locked within the four walls of our house, internet and social media became an escape place or a go-to place for a lot of people. Initially, when the pandemic had hit, there was a mixed emotion in all of us, and we also did not know the right use and how we use, and what we do productive, what we do meaningful. But by now, a lot of this has settled, and a lot of us have now realized, especially the ones who joined social media or who became more active on social media during the pandemic time, to stay connected to people, to have that people element in their lives. By now, we all have understood its strengths, its weaknesses. The way we can change our attitude is going to impact the content that we create. It's going to impact our reactions to the content that we consume or we read or we receive. And all of this is going to churn around the negativity to the positivity. See, let's understand that social media is also a double-edged sword. If you're going to constantly, be engaged in this platform, it is a platform where you only and only see the highlight reel of someone's life. It's only all about the positive. Nobody puts up the negative elements, Where we're looking at the videos, they are all edited. You're looking at the pictures, they are all glorified and beautified and all of this. Now, if I am constantly on this platform and I am comparing myself with what content I see, I will be constantly under the pressure of being perfect, always being a selfie ready, or always being creative. So that kind of pressure can burn you out, can make you envious, can make you, can give you low self-esteem. So it's all about balancing. Use this platform for its right purpose. As the name suggests, it is a social networking platform. Networking can be either for your work, can be either for your friends, can be casual, formal, also. But have a clear objective. Don't use it for anything and everything. This is not a place where, for a lot of people, it has become like a big boss house. Everything that they do, they want to share it over here. Understand that this space is the space which is open to everyone. You cannot trust who is watching and who is going to have what kind of intent. So if you really want to make your entire life public in this social space, you have to ensure that you know the people who are reading this content, or be aware of the risk that is coming along with it. And this is how you can choose to ensure that your profile is well protected. It is having content that is the content which you are okay to risk it with. In the sense, it's very positive content, it's meaningful content, and it's useful content. This is how you can cut down all the negativity that comes with the overuse of this, and try and balance. Not just for entertainment, use it also for a lot of productive use as well.
Okay, ma'am. Then next question is, please brief us about cyber detox.
Now, this is something that is a trending term these days. When the salons and spa had come new in the city, everyone was going for a skin detox or a food detox. And same way now we have cyber detox, overconsumption, imbalanced use of anything, be it food, be it entertainment, be it even your friends that overdose. Same way, overdose of cyberspace requires you to learn to detach, take a step back, and detox yourself. What it does is, so let's understand how this cyberspace impacts us. It is a space which is extremely fast paced. It offers you instant gratification. It keeps you in a hyper arousal state of mind because of the way it's not just the pace but even the multimedia content that we see over here, whether it is the gaming space, whether it is the videos that we are watching, whether it is the profiles that we are surfing. So this constantly being in a hyper arousal state can drain away your cognitive ability. We all have to, the stages or the emotions have to be flowing up and down. They can't be constantly up or constantly down. And hence detox is what intervenes that, constant arousal state, and it puts you down into a state of, relaxation, where all your blood chemicals, which have been going up and down to an extremity based on your content consumption or your social media consumption, can help. The detox will help you step back, take a break, let all your chemicals come back to their normal levels, and then go back. Also, every time we take these kind of solutions like detox or a no phone day or a no social media day or something like that, it also gives us an opportunity to look at it from an external angle or an holistic angle, that where am I heading, what am I doing. See, time is the only element which is equally divided for all of us, but it's an element which we can't go back to. And hence, so many, post this lockdown, I've got so many clients coming up and saying, I am unable to, and help you get back to your concentration. So, like we say, being mindful, being in that moment, all this requires a very sharp cognitive ability, which comes from time to time detoxing. So, I hope you understand the importance and
Getting paused again and again.
yes, there was a little loading, but it's
I'm
fine.
really sorry for that.
No problem.
Moving on to the next question. Will you please enumerate the checklist to practice cyber hygiene?
Sure. So cyber hygiene is divided in two ways. One is of your device, and the other is in terms of etiquettes and your code of conduct, or the hygiene that you must as a user follow over here. So let me talk about the device hygiene first. Like I mentioned, the most important hygiene to have is keeping your softwares updated, having a good antivirus which is also updated on all the devices that you use. Try and use single device as far as possible in terms of logging into certain areas where you have to key in your password. So let's say bank accounts or your social media accounts. So if it is one device, you can maintain its hygiene better. Then ensure that you have your two-factor authentications on every single app that you use. It is utmost important for your privacy. fifth or sixth form of hygiene that you can follow is never ever use a public Wi-Fi to do any kind of transactional work or to log into any of your account. Public Wi-Fi's are the breeders of hackers. So do not use any kind of, if at all you have to use for general surfing, that is okay, but don't enter any time your passwords. Another important aspect of hygiene is changing your passwords. Now, no longer we use passwords, we use passphrases. And I'll give you a simple tip to make your passphrases far more safe, secure, and interesting to remember. So take up any kind of phrase in your native language. So let's say I'm a Gujarati, so I may choose the phrase "kem cho." That's a very common phrase for all of us to remember. Now you can abbreviate this or you can write this in English using alphabets and numbers. The phrase becomes easier for me to remember. Generally, what I recommend is every month. So let's say now this is October month. October month is known for Diwali, for Gandhi Jayanti. These are the popular events that happen. Take up a phrase which is related to the event, use it for this month, convert it into password, use it for this month so that it's not difficult for you to remember. And it, as soon as the month changes, a new a new event comes up, change the phrase, change the password. So this is how you can keep your passwords updated. Remember, your passwords are as good as a key to the bank locker. It's not about trusting your partner. A lot of times we have seen that between the youth, when they are in a relationship, they exchange passwords for their social media handles and their email accounts just to show that how much I trust you. If your partner is asking you for this to show as a measure of trust, checklist for hygiene. Now coming to the etiquettes part or the second part of hygiene, which is about our code of conduct. So remember a few important things. One is always being polite in the using a polite language, a respectful language. Remember, by default, everyone deserves respect. Only if they have given you an opportunity to be, they've broken your trust and they've proven that, they lost that respect, is where they have to earn it back. A lot of time I hear people saying, what respect has to be earned. Sorry, it's only in case when they have lost it. Otherwise, it's by default, we have to be respectable to everyone. Mind your words over here. Then ensure that, you have your privacy settings in place in terms of who are going to tag you, how is it going to appear on your pages, who are going to be able to send you friend requests, who can comment on your post. All these are available in the privacy settings. So ensure that you have given proper settings. If you are, if you're can have two different accounts on social media. One which you want to keep public, strictly public information over there. And the other one you can keep private, where you only and only have people that you know. So that you ensure that it's not someone random who's coming on to your groups and, making these kind of nonsensical comments or harassing, and no form of bullying is happening. Then also remember that tagging without consent is an inappropriate etiquette. For your own account also, make sure that nobody can tag you, or even if they tag you, you need to authorize it to show up on your timeline or on your page. Same way, follow that etiquette of, if you have to tag someone, if you have to take a screenshot, always ask for consent. Same is with the conversation. Whenever you begin a conversation in cyberspace, just because that space is open 24/7 does not mean the person is available. Very often I find that people directly call you on WhatsApp, and directly either a video call or an audio call. These are all inappropriate etiquettes. You have to ask and consent. Always message first that, hey, are you available for a call? Only then go ahead with these. So there are these some ways in which we can remember and follow certain good etiquettes. For minding your language, there's a beautiful app called as Rethink. It is developed by a young girl like you all, and all it does, it's a keyboard app. All it does, it prompts you whenever you're using an inappropriate word or a disrespectful word. So for example, if you type that, hey, are you stupid? It is going to give you a prompt that, would you want to change it or substitute this word? It's not okay. What it does is that in that moment of aggression or irritation, when you're being disrespectful to someone, it allows you to take a pause and relook at your sentence. This can save a long form of something that could transpire into trolling or bullying. It can be saved by a simple keyboard app. So make sure that you are always polite and always kind. One very significant etiquette that I want to add up over here is about not being a silent bystander. Always upstand. Use your voice at the right place to show support, and ensure that you are not being silent. So many times we see in groups, people, when they are being mean to each other, there are 20 other people in the group who do not have any say. They say, it's not my battle. Remember, if you don't choose a side, by default, you are choosing a side of the offender. Instead, take a stand. Have a voice, but with responsibility. So these are some of the factors that you must remember when entering cyberspace for having a wonderful time over here and a safe time.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I am done with all the questions which I had. Shall I look for some more if there is anything in the comment section? Garima Patni is asking, is it difficult for women to fit into legal field? I don't think it is concerned with
Absolutely not. No, that's fine. It's okay. I don't mind answering it for you. So, Garima, no profession is ever discriminated between gender. Okay, there are some which are only more convenient to someone and less convenient to someone. And legal profession is a profession where you need your intellectual capacity or intellectual capabilities. It is not discriminated by your gender at all. So I do not ever think that women cannot fit in. In fact, our country's leading cyber lawyers are women. If you Google up them, if you look up for them, they're all women. It's not at all got to do about gender. If at all you have experiences like that, they're coming from the society's stereotypical mindset. But it's not got to do anything with the profession. You can very well follow. If it is your passion, go for it. Because what you require to make a good career is interest, skill, ability, and passion. Skill and ability can be learned. Passion can grow with experience, and interest is where you begin with. So if you align these four, you can be very, very successful in any field that you like. I hope that answers your question.
Sure, ma'am, it does. Ma'am, before concluding, I have one announcement to make. Shall I do that too?
Please go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Before concluding, I would like to make an announcement. On October 3rd, 2021, there will be a Manthan Talk session, live and unplugged. The speaker is J. Sai Deepak, Advocate Supreme Court. He will talk about his book, India, That is Bharat, and its coloniality, civilization, and constitution. It will be an offline session at Chitnavi Center, Nagpur. I would request everybody to attend the same. With this, ma'am, we have now come to the end of the session. Thank you
Sure.
so much, ma'am, for joining today. This has been a really interesting session. Thank you so much, ma'am, once again. Bye. Take care, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and wish you all the best. Stay aware, stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.